gentlemen, strap on your boots. It's time for Crent's Crappy Sports Section. Righto, and welcome back to the Barron Files podcast, episode 54, Crappy Sports Section. Crent.
I like it how we call it that. Thank you.
You like it how we call it the
Just
Crappy Sports?
insulting to my life.
Did you want to? I'm happy for you. It's your game, your show. You can change it to whatever you like. I know I've called it Crappy Sports Section for some time.
That's what it's known as now, though.
I know, but if you want to think about it over the next few weeks, man, I'm happy to change the name of it, and that's what we'll go with.
It's like just changing cricket and calling it bat and ball.
Yeah.
No, it is what it is, mate. It is what it fucking is. Well, I was going to give you a rev up early and say the mighty Saints are up and about,
Aren't
Nathan.
we?
They're mighty. Crushing victory
Mate,
over Port Adelaide.
I'm booking flights in September to Queensland. I'm not
Locked
ready,
in.
but yeah, no.
To Melbourne.
I'm not getting ahead of ourselves, but I'll tell you what, geez, I've been happy.
They're playing... And it's like I've mentioned a few times. I've mentioned I'm a psycho sport watcher. I can handle losing. I can't handle playing poorly, resulting in losing.
Yeah.
You should be able to play at a certain level.
Yep.
And they're playing quite well, the Saints. They're fucking up and about.
They are up and about, mate.
Got some young guys really doing some heavy lifting.
Yeah, they are. And we've got a lot of players out, and I want them to stay out,
Yeah.
to be honest. There's a few there that I'd gladly not have them play again. I'd like to see Philippou back.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of him.
He's a good player.
He does. He makes a lot of mistakes, but
he's young.
He's having a dip. That's the main thing. So,
A friend of mine's a Saints supporter, and I said to him, Max King could be back this week. He goes, that's all we fucking need.
Yeah, look, honestly, he doesn't. The problem is with Max King is in his ability. He's got a great ability. He's amazing.
He's got to convert.
He's got an amazing turn of brilliance, if you will. He'll come out and kick 4 goals in a quarter and wins the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to try.
I think he can play.
I don't like that he doesn't try.
I just think he's had a lot of pressure on him from an early age. And I don't know, Ross the boss for a reason. I think he'll get him right. I reckon he'll come on.
Well, they're obviously a big fan of him because they've signed him to 2032.
Yeah, which is a fair one.
So there must be something there, but I tell you what, it's not his kicking.
Nah, it's a lot of them are like that early days though.
Oh,
they do find a way to improve. I fucking hope so.
I tell you what. But the thing is, kicking. I was better at kicking when I was younger.
Yeah.
As I got older, that's when the issues started to happen. Probably because I wasn't quite as nimble.
Oh, I wouldn't say
anymore,
that.
Crent.
Yeah, nimble little 119 kilos that you were. A little whippet. Yes. They used to call you split pin, didn't they? Wasn't that your nickname?
No. I don't think I've ever been known as small.
But your t-shirts used to have small on them? Small marquee?
Yeah, small marquee, yeah. Did you watch any of the Saints?
I watched I watched quarter and a half, I guess. In and out, I just cruise around on Sunday.
Did you by any chance see the anomaly? I can't remember when exactly it was, but I saw something in that game that I had never, ever in my life seen.
Jack Higgins later tackle?
Nope. No, Jack Higgins is all right. He's good at good forward pressure.
Yeah, and I suppose he does, yeah.
I saw an umpire change their decision.
I did hear that, yeah. No, sorry, I did hear about that.
And it went against St Kilda, and it got Port Adelaide another forward entry.
And it was probably an incorrect decision, wasn't it?
Look, I mean, people carry the ball over the line all the time. I hate the rule of interpretation, but the umpire saw Isaac Keeler carry the ball across the line.
Yep.
Blew the whistle, signalled to throw it in, and then signalled that it was a free kick to Port Adelaide because of
deliberate.
It was inconsistent. It's not deliberate. It's insufficient attempt to keep
the ball alive. Yeah.
That's garbage. It's a crap rule, right?
It's a shocking rule.
It's an absolutely disgusting rule because here's the other thing, right? If the ball's starting to roll across the line, players won't try and get it. They'll just go put their arms out like that and say, appeal for insufficient attempt. You didn't attempt to keep it in either,
you're
mate.
Also making insufficient attempt. It should start pinging.
It should be pinging for that. But Keeler was about to be tackled, so he was under pressure. He wasn't going to get around. He's too slow. He's a big, slow, dopey ruckman, right? He's not going to get around this player, and he just sort of moped off over the line. Like it wasn't like he didn't turn to go over the line.
Yeah,
he was still facing the field of play, and just sort of as he was trying to avoid the tackle, stepped over the line. Okay, yeah, it was deliberate, definitely deliberate, but it happens 100 times in a game.
Yeah,
and you don't call that.
So 2 things with that. I agree, but I don't like how the players now are treating it as a refuge. They start to get tackled and they fucking run over the line.
Yeah.
And that is apart from what you've just said now, pretty much every time that's a throw-in.
Yes.
But also just the insufficient attempt in general. It's just another one of those murky rules. It's so fucking hard to adjudicate.
It's because it's subjective and it's not.
I reckon 90% of the AFL rules now are grey area. They need to be black and white.
Yeah.
Did you fucking did you kick or handball that ball? No, we'll tell them the ball.
Well, when the ball, this thing because the insufficient attempt thing, they don't pay it against the team when they're in their forward 50.
No, that's right. It's fucking It's so hard to. It's just so frustrating. Yeah.
I know, and we all know they're not trying to kick it out of bounds in the forward 50. We understand that.
That's right.
But they're also a lot of the time not trying to kick it out of bounds when they're halfway down the wing either.
No, that's exactly right. Yeah, saying that they do sneakily, like Collingwood are a big one for it. They'll find a way to get a throw in or a stoppage in their forward 50 when it's 2 minutes to go and they're up by 8 points. So a lot of the time they'll kick it to within a metre of the boundary line that they just punch it over the line.
Because you can punch the ball over the line on the full and that's perfectly fine because you've got to be allowed to spoil. Yeah, fair enough. They just need to get rid of...
Not from 15 metres in the fucking ground. Yeah. Sometimes they just go fucking bang and punch it a mile.
They just need to make it a black and white rule. Did it come off that player? Yes. Well, then it's a free kick. Get rid of the boundary umpires.
Yeah, well, that's... Yeah.
The boundary umpires have to make a decision. Yes, the ball's gone out. But they're not throwing it in anymore. It's whoever it's come off.
It's radical, but it makes sense.
It's radical. It's just like,
saying that, I hate to get to the point where basketball where they just like throw it into them to just get, know what I mean?
Yeah. Because it used to be the refuge for, in the 90s when football was good, you were taught boundary line is your friend as a backman. They'd handball it over the line.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it wasn't a rule back then. That didn't come into the late 90s, maybe even the thousands, that it was a deliberate out of bounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's always been in my time.
No, you could handball the ball out of bounds when you're in the back line.
Yep.
It was a great time waster.
Different time. But no, the Saints, the Mighty are going well.
We are, mate. We are absolutely flying. Porter up, Fremantle, a couple of wins now on the trot. But they're the same as St Kilda.
They tried to lose
They are the same as St Kilda, right? Even in winning, even when we win, it is the most frustrating, excruciating pain.
Oh.
I roared at that TV on Sunday afternoon.
Fuck, I roared.
That loud that I almost fainted. I went, oh, shit. And had to sit back down. I was screaming. But it was actually at an umpire decision.
I was the same. The kids were in bed because we always play the fucking graveyard shift Sunday game. I said, watch them fuck this up. And she said, no, they'll be fine. Anyway, as she just said that, Shea Bolton runs into the forward 50 on his own. Yeah. All he had to do was either kick it through the goals or kick it to Michael Frederick on his own in the fucking goal square. And he just chipped it straight to the only Western Bulldogs player.
Oh, God, I hate that.
Fucking 15 metres from goal. It was 10 metres in front of Michael Frederick. So what the fuck is he doing? 5 minutes prior to that, Frederick himself runs into an open goal, chooses to dribble along the ground and fucking kicks a point.
Why do they do that? Why dribble it? The dribbling is so much more inaccurate.
That would have put him 30-odd points up with 8 minutes to go, game over.
Yeah, that's it.
Probably still never for us.
No, but you've got to give your fans some sort of relief at some point.
Even Renee, she thinks I'm a psychopath when I watch football. And even she's shaking her head. She's like, what the fuck are they doing? Yeah. And I was like, this is my life.
Renee's Collingwood, is she not?
West Coast.
Yeah,
funnily enough. So
how do you do that?
Yeah, it's unique, isn't it, in Tasmania?
Are you guys as fierce with the rivalry as, say, two Western Australians would be?
She gets crabby that I hate them. And then, she goes, when your team playing people, I go for them. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you. I'm never going to support your team if they're playing fucking Islamabad. I don't care if Saddam Hussein comes back.
So West Coast is your least favourite team, is what you're saying?
That'd be one of them. Not a big Essendon man. Something about Essendon.
Hawthorn is my least favourite. I don't like West Coast because I worked with Western Australians. But Hawthorn, growing up with Stewie and Petter.
Yeah, pain enough. I don't like Brisbane much. I've never liked Brisbane. Brisbane got a real arrogance about them, I think, Brisbane. Even when they were shit.
They do.
I just don't like Brisbane. Yeah.
That was still one of the strongest teams I've ever seen.
I still think that and the Hawthorn team.
The best to watch. I didn't really like watching the Hawthorn. I thought Hawthorn got way too many free kicks.
Yeah, they were
helped across the line a lot of the time.
So were Brisbane, though. Any team that gets it.
Brisbane.
Look at Geelong now. Patrick Dangerfield, the holding the ball rule does not exist.
No.
When he has the ball.
No, what's the point?
It's the elites like that. They all get looked after. Yeah. When you get to the right end of the ladder, mate, they look after you. They get you home. Collingwood.
With that Brisbane side, they were just bullies. And
100% physical. But Hawthorn was similar. That's what I'm saying. The unsociable Hawks, they called them.
I didn't think they were very physical.
I did. They made teams hurt. They made teams earn it. But as I said, a win's a win. But the frustrating thing is, the knock on them is they don't move the ball. They're too slow and everything. In the second quarter, that was as much as I've seen them take the game on, play with pace, use the handball, use your overlap runner. Most I've seen them do it for 2 years. Guess how many goals kicked in the second quarter? 7.
7 goals in the second
We
quarter.
kicked 6 goals in the last about 8 minutes of the quarter. They were on fire. Couldn't stop. Third quarter, come out, just chipped around halfback.
Yeah, why?
For fuck's sake.
St Kilda do it too.
We were actually the youngest team in the competition on the weekend.
Yeah, you were. Yes, you were. I saw that.
Pace on every line.
Yep.
And yet just chip around the fucking back.
Yep.
Like,
No.
I know there's times in that games, but fucking look at Brisbane just won the grand final last year, beat a team by 10 fucking goals, kicked 22 fucking goals.
Yeah.
Like, Geelong have been able to score heavily in the last few years. This
Yeah.
is why they've gone from also ran 3rd to 5th to right back in the fucking hunt. They changed a few things. They had to.
Yes.
Sydney aren't winning because they're like us. They're a good team, but you won't beat one kicking 12 fucking goals.
That's right. You
Like-
need to kick 15, 16, 17 goals
Regularly
to win games.
games. And as Lee Matthews, I love Lee Matthews, he said one day, what was one of his tactics coach, and he said, well, my thing was, coach, first to 100 wins.
That was his thing, and he used to say that all the time.
And that was he said this.
First
Look at
to
the stats.
100.
The first team to win wins 98% of games.
yes,
Or something.
and
Like,
if there's same amount of minutes, the same amount of goals.
yeah, minutes to goals, you're on.
minutes to goals, you can get there.
5
you can
goals,
actually get
yeah,
there.
or you can
5
get
goals
there,
in 5
or you're
minutes can be
home.
done.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's my frustration. So more of that. As I said, their best is brilliant,
Yeah.
but they just turn in some games. Just think, what was that?
Yeah.
Like, and then come out. Oh, we're really disappointed. We're going to dial it up next week. We're going to do this. We've been working on this. We've been working on that. Next week, kick fucking 8 goals.
Yeah. The thing. So back to St Kilda for a second. I like about the Saints is I still don't think they're playing their best football.
Nah, but they're stepping in the right direction.
They really are, and that's what I mean. They're winning games and they're not playing their best.
Ross, mate. I know people bag
People
Ross.
don't like him, but
Look what they've again. Even Ross, he's realised he could
Yeah.
not continue doing what he was doing.
Yeah,
He
it's
has-
a different game plan.
He's opened it up. He's let them go. He's let them run.
Yep.
They're scoring heavy. They would be in the top 3 or 4 for scoring. They've had kicked some big scores already this season.
they have.
haven't
Yeah. Jack McRae's been great for us.
Jack
I
McRae's a
think.
great player. I think he's
Fantastic.
underrated widely. I
How-
know he's not the
Yep.
sexiest footballer going.
No, he's not.
But he's
But I tell you, he gets kicks.
he gets 35 touches, mate.
Yeah.
It's,
You've got to be doing something with it every now and then.
and he does kick it a fair bit. He doesn't get
Yeah.
22 handballs like a lot. Like,
No,
he just
no,
fucking,
no.
yeah. No, he's a good player. Astute recruit, and he's one of them guys that he seems to have looked after his body. He could have 3 or 4 years left in him.
Yeah.
Like I know he's premiership player already, got a bit of experience.
Yes,
so,
he is. Yeah.
no, he's a good player.
No, I'm very happy.
Moving along a little bit, Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool are on the verge of winning an English Premier League. They're 11 points clear with 7 games to go. Now, bit of trivia for you. The Premier League.
Kenny will be happy.
There was obviously that was first division and everything for 100 plus years they've had football in England. But
Yeah.
the Premier League itself was rebranded the Premier League in 1992. Now Liverpool being a superpower of world football, how many Premier League titles do you reckon they've won
Since '92.
since 1992?
Harry Kewell played for Liverpool, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Mark Viduka.
Also Liverpool.
Oh no, he didn't. Sorry, no.
No. None.
This will be their second. They
It's
won their first one.
1992.
Yeah, they won their first one only 4 or 5 years ago. They won their first one.
Yeah, right.
And, so they had a hell of a premiership drought in that regard. But, yeah, they're 11 points clear with 7 games to go. Unlikely they'll get caught.
That is
Arsenal
not-
can catch them, but
Sorry, that is not a premiership drought.
30... Oh, it was 30 years, I think.
Yeah. 1966 was St Kilda's last. That's a premiership drought.
That's nearly 60 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time, isn't it?
It is.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, next year is the anniversary.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that's why it doesn't make me feel as bad, because I know we haven't won. But as soon as we win one, we draw level
we
with
draw
St
level with
Kilda.
St Kilda. 'Cause we'll
Been at
never
it
win
since
that. And then when you
fucking
win 2, you'll be ahead of us because we'll never win that.
Fucking neither, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Unless we get a new fucking coach.
But
that's
what
another
was
record.
do you know what the English Premier League was called prior to English?
It was just like first division or something. I don't know.
Oh,
It didn't
okay,
have
righto.
its own
Yeah.
specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just that's what. But I just thought it was funny because most people hear Liverpool and think, oh, geez, they would have won shitloads of Premier League.
Yeah, they're a strong title.
Since 90, saying that they won the Champions League in that time, and which is the European club competition.
Now,
Cup.
explain the final series for EPL. Is there finals?
No,
It's just whoever finishes on
first to the
top.
post. Lee Matthews theory. Most points. It is exciting though. I know people say, "Oh, it's no grand final," and I understand that, but it is exciting because there's games all over the fucking shop. There's games all over the country. I don't know how the fuck they come out.
Were you about to say Shire, maybe? Or
All over the shop. I think I was
over
going to
the
go,
shop,
but
right.
wouldn't have made any fucking
Yeah.
sense. But Manchester United can be all their shit. Sorry, Arsenal can be second, and they'll drop points to bloody a team that's 17th over there, and that's a huge blow to the title race. So that's an exciting game. People watch that because it's 1-1 with half hour to go. What's going to happen there? Arsenal could blow their chance. Then Liverpool wins, so it puts them further ahead. Another team goes into second that worth it. Like it is, you know what I mean? Like there's so many results that are still vital towards the end.
but what about the cutthroat game of the best team in the country? You know, the top two. I mean, at least have the top two play off.
Yeah, they never will.
For some sort of trophy.
Well, that's why soccer's a bit different though, because they have all the other cup competitions.
Yeah,
they have the League Cup and the FA Cup and Champions League, and
I would like to see a State Cup and a National Cup in AFL. In lower leagues of Aussie rules. So, Premiership winners of for instance, the Darwin Football Association and the MVC8. Whatever it's called.
Oh, they did have that last year.
Yeah, well, let's do that, and then keep going up. Yeah, up the ladder, up the tree, all the way to the national team, till you get a national winner.
National country.
Obviously, AFL being excluded from this one.
They did do it years ago with the Foxtel Cup.
Yeah, they did.
They had all the
absolutely.
winners.
That's what I would like to see. Something like that. Bernie played off in that one year.
They played Werribee or something. I think it might have been Eddie had actually.
They got beat. Rowan Baldock played in that. Rowan Baldock and
playing his coaching. Yeah. But yeah, it would be interesting. Extremely interesting. This one's a bit different for sport. Well, it's not. It is sport, but it's pretty serious. So the father of coward punch victim hopes Noah Bolter never comes back to Richmond. Now, Noah Bolter, who's signed a 7-year deal with Richmond last year, who's a key position swingman for Richmond.
Yeah, right.
He actually pretty violently bashed someone in the off-season.
I did see this, yeah.
Now, the video is now circulating. The video's been made public.
Yeah.
Circulating. It's obviously I wasn't there. It doesn't look great for him.
No, it does not.
Not at all pleasant viewing. He comes from the clouds, belts this bloke to the ground and continues to punch him.
Now, we don't know what's happened prior to this.
Yeah, I do think,
but geez,
again, you don't know.
You're putting your life in. You kill that guy, you're in jail. That's it, done. 100%. See you later.
Well, he still is likely he could face a prison sentence.
Right.
It's a pretty, it's grievous bodily harm, basically. He's a fair hide.
Yeah, it's no good.
And you just can't punch people.
You just keep your hands to your fucking self.
2025.
Like, how hard is
you
it?
just cannot hit people.
The easiest thing in the world to do is not hit someone.
You just can't do it.
Yeah.
You cannot put your hands upon someone's person.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not smart. I just don't know why someone in his position would do it. I know alcohol and this and that. Like, I reckon I've been as drunk as the one person can get at different times in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you have as well.
Yeah.
And it's still the furthest fucking thing from my mind is to hit someone.
Yes.
It just doesn't even need to be.
I've got no interest in it.
Like, I've said to someone, oh, you're a fuckwit. But I don't even... My next step is to never go and belt them.
Yes.
Belt them. I just don't even consider it.
You're a fuckwit. I am no longer speaking to you.
I'm going to cease this conversation.
Yeah, that's it.
And he might say, well, I think you're a fuckwit. I'll say, well, congratulations.
None of my business what you think of me.
Don't care because you're a fuckwit. Still get the last word in, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
But even rare, that's rare. Like, it's just not that hard to get along with people, is it? Be friendly.
Not at all. Yeah. Like, I mean... You know, people of different religions, people with different political views can still get along.
Oh, that's right.
They just refuse to. That's a choice not to.
That's a choice. That's exactly right. And I still reckon now, having played sport for a long time at a very poor level, as I mentioned quite often, I reckon the people that I always said, oh, I hate that prick that I played against, when you actually talk to them and have a beer with them is the person that you get on with the most. Yeah. I've always said that. I reckon you think...
And the reason you hate them on the field is because you are both so competitive.
That's right, yeah.
That's why you hate them. Otherwise, it wouldn't bother you that
mutual
much.
level of respect. Yeah. And you think, that's exactly right. A bloke said to me once, he goes, if we ever failed, I'll come play with you blokes. So from Lonnie class. I said, yeah, righto. How come? He said, well, when we had that big fight today, he said, you blokes come from fucking everywhere. He said, you don't see that very often anymore. He said, I didn't mind that. And I thought, thank you.
Flying the flag,
Flying the flag, as they say.
Yes.
Oh, it was pretty special. But so Jimmy Bartell's made some comments. Now, not that it's totally
on the Noah Bolter?
Not that it's totally relevant. Jimmy Bartell had a pretty tough upbringing. He had a lot of domestic violence in his house.
Oh, okay.
He had a really tough upbringing. And he's made comments and said, well... The Richmond coach, Adam Uze, basically come out and defended Noah Bolter, and Jimmy said, well, these comments don't sit well, given that Bolter has pleaded guilty.
Oh.
So
of course he's going to plead guilty. Like, you're not going to...
There's video there of you punching someone several times, punching him to the ground. So he got a 4-match club ban from Richmond, which has ended this week. He's eligible to play Fremantle this week.
Right.
But now that this video's come out, and the seriousness of the matter is public, people are saying, well, should he really be playing football? This is the one... We're trying to stamp this out of society in general, not just football or any sport. Should he be running around this week with 10-year-olds in the crowd wearing jumpers with his number on the back and cheering for him? Now, 5 years ago, I would have said no. I mean, I would have said, yes, he should play, but now, I don't know. It's not a great look.
I am still of the belief you are innocent until proven guilty, although he has been proven guilty. He's pled guilty and he's been proven guilty. So that's a different story, I must admit. But I've always also said that AFL players don't necessarily want to be a 10-year-old's idol. They just want to play football at the best of their ability.
Chris Judd said that famously once.
Yes, he did. That's why I say it. They don't want to be anyone's idol. They just want to play football at the best of their ability. If AFL is that, then so be it. I understand that people say, oh, no, if you're in the public eye, it comes with certain responsibilities. No, it doesn't.
No, I think that's a fair comment. It does.
It doesn't. I have no responsibilities on my social media page to do anything other than what the fuck I want to do. I mean, the club can impose things, I suppose. They probably say, look, if you want to come play for us, this is how you got to do it. Maybe they can do that.
The best clubs do that.
Yeah, and they do. Obviously, Richmond don't. Because,
yeah.
If they're going to play him this week, then that's their prerogative. I guess. I just he's going to get booed.
Oh, he's going to cop. It'd be pretty treacherous.
Yeah,
but even Uze, like, I don't think this is his greatest moment. He's come out. That's the Richmond coach. He's been dealing with this for 3 months. He's hating not being out there. The fact that it's out in the media now, it happened in January. So he's been dealing with that for a long time. We're not going to change our verdict. We've worked with the AFL with that, and they're really clear on that. And that's where Jimmy Bartell come and said they come across like Noah is being hard done by the fact he's had to sit so much time out and he's had to deal with this situation that he caused. That sort of behaviour we're trying to eradicate from society. Let's not talk about football. Let's not even talk about football.
Well, that's another thing too. I mean, he really it should be it's in the hands of the law. They should be dealing with this.
But Marlon Pickett has still got robbery charges hanging over his head. It was a non-violent crime. He went straight back to Richmond and didn't miss a game. Or might miss one or two.
This was after he'd played and
he'd been playing
armed robbery, not armed robbery, but it was stealing.
Apparently committed the acts.
Well, they're not fucking paying you enough, mate.
Mate, people getting tied up with family and back home and who knows. But anyways, so a lot of people are now pushing and saying, well, the NRL has a no-fault stand-down policy. If you're accused of a serious crime, you're immediately stood down until that's decided either way. Guilty
until proven innocent.
That's right. That's the other way. But that's the same. But everyone's saying, oh, the AFL should adopt it. And people are saying now, well, it doesn't apply because he's pled guilty.
Yeah, so it wouldn't matter anyway. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah. But I don't like the NRL stance, to be honest, because you can be accused of anything.
Someone came and said, well, this guy here stole my wallet. No, I didn't. Stand him down.
He's down for 12 months.
I was in Sydney at the time.
That's right. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, there's got to be some sort of that's a black and white rule that's no good.
100%.
Yeah.
Moving along to boxing, Timmy Zunov.
Right.
Punched some holes in American Joey Spencer on the weekend.
Did he really? Oh,
fourth round TKO.
He went in heavy favourite though, didn't he?
No, Joey Spencer can box. I think he was 20-1 or 21-1. He was pretty high.
I saw the odds and I just.
But he was.
The odds were very, very.
Oh, they always are, mate. If you ever want a sneaky $10, some of the guys that come out, they can punch and they pay $3.50. It's worth a few bob every now and then because the Australian agencies always back the Australians heavily. But Tim Zoo was favourite, no doubt. But he Spencer can throw him, but he looked to be outclassed. Zoo done it pretty easy. He was very careful early, but started picking him apart. He was because he'd come off 2 losses.
Yeah,
and he started picking him apart, and then he started really hitting him pretty hard. And they threw in the towel. Easy.
Do you think that's necessarily a good tactic to take, like going into a fight carefully, cautiously? Just because you've lost 2? Like,
I do because
you fight differently, or
probably the one knock on Timmy Zoo is that. Everyone knows he's got power, but he probably hadn't
using it.
No, using it, but probably not being cautious enough. You'd say in the other fight.
Right, maybe been a little bit erratic
against.
So then it is a good tactic to
in
go
his last fight. So I think it was pretty good. But so Keith Thurman, who's a big name, that's the talk he's going to take on next. I'd like to see him fight Fundora again. He's the big tower and fucking 6'8" bloke he fought. That when he was going well early, then got the cut in his head from that headbutt. Had blood in his eyes for the next fucking 8 rounds and still lost on split decision. So I think he'd get over Fundora. I think he's a better fighter. So if he could get another crack at his WBC and WBO titles back from Fundora, it'd be nice. But Keith Thurman appears to be the next one, who is a bigger name and would bring a pretty serious payday.
And where's he from?
He's American.
Yep.
So it's funny, talk about, first world problems. But so his first fight against Fundora last year, he earned $10 million, Timmy Zoo.
God, there's some money in sport. Why didn't I stick to sport? AFL's the lowest. It's the lowest paid sport in the world, I reckon, isn't it?
Oh, for a game that generates income, it does. The players are low paid.
AFL and NRL, they'd be probably
they're pretty
level pegging, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but that doesn't generate the income the AFL does.
No.
Anyway, his next fight against I can't pronounce it, Murtaslayev, I think it was, or Murtaslayev.
Doesn't sound like a very fun person to fight.
No, he got a bit of a smack and he got a 4th or 5th round knockout. Oh, TKO again. He lost. It's rumoured his purse then was about $6 million. So he's still pretty serious coin. This one last week against Joey Spencer is rumoured he would only earn between $500,000 to $2 million.
Oh, so is it because of the 2 losses though?
Yeah, because his profile's dropped, obviously, and it wasn't as big a fight.
I wouldn't bother.
If that hadn't have happened...
Wouldn't get out of bed.
Well, if he hadn't have lost his last one, he probably would have fought... Thurman's had a fight recently as well. He would have had that slot probably. So
yeah, right.
Now he's back in line for that and the big money, but he really can't afford to go and lose that fight though as well, because then they're going to say, well, every time you fought a real top line fighter, you've come up short. So yeah. Hopefully it goes well. But it's a unique stat though that the Zhu family are now 51-0 in Australia. So between Kostya, Tim, and his brother Nikita, 51-0 on Australian shores.
Wow. How old is he?
Tim Zhu's 30.
30. So he's probably... how long do they box for?
Everyone's different. Bernard Hopkins got better in his 40s. I reckon he was as good as he was between 45 47. There's still time. But then Daniel Gill, 35, lost it, started to really struggle. It's funny. I don't know. It probably depends how many times you've been hit.
Probably hit his peak fitness early. I'm yet to hit mine.
I hope so.
So there's a chance.
The doctor's quite hopeful you haven't hit your peak fitness yet. But it's an interesting 12 months for Timmy Zhu. As I said, if he had have lost on Sunday, that would have put paid to his big plans. He would have been back doing Anthony Mundine and fighting Australians the next 5 years, I think. But he's put himself right. It was a pretty impressive performance. So they know he can fight. He's just got to find a plan that can get over those top line guys, and hopefully he gets another crack at a world title. He's a world champion. He'll forever be a world champion no matter what happens from here. He won a genuine world title.
Yeah, that's it.
Hopefully
never take that off him.
No, hopefully he can. And of course they do get to. A lot of people don't know they actually do get to keep.
The belt stays with them. It's a brand new belt for the next champion.
For the next champ. So they always have that in the...
Even I know that, Crent.
Hanging up in the bar. I'm going to have one hanging up in my bar pretty shortly.
What are you buying?
They'll I've always wanted one. And I'm like, fuck, I'm going to buy one. I just want to have a WBC box hanging over the shoulder, have a few beers. Yeah. Yep. Then get to fight with me 11-year-old nephew and get a flogging probably. But
you get like a WWF one.
WWE one. They're pretty good. I might start collecting them, mate.
Just maybe that could go in the new cabinet.
I was going to say we could put her up for the pod. Yeah. Just sit here with them over the shoulder.
Yeah.
How'd you buy? When'd you win that? A raffle. That's it for sport, though, mate.
That's it.
Have you noticed? I'm a bit tired.
Yeah, that was a pretty quick episode tonight. 28 minutes that went for, Crent.
My fault.
So when you're doing the sports episode next week, let's see if we can get a little more content out of that, mate. So probably double the amount. That
I actually thought it was. I thought you were getting bored with it, to be honest. So,
no. Look, I love sitting there just chewing the fat. Yeah, that's what I like to do. So
I haven't yawned for a while either. Sport inspires me.
You yawned a fair few times in there. All right. Well, if that's it, then
that's all she wrote.
We better do a bit of an outro, Crent. Righto! Thanks for listening to episode 55. 55, Crent. Thank you very much. Don't forget to go and follow us on all of our social medias, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and of course TikTok. See full episodes on our YouTube, snippets on our other social medias and all that sort of stuff. And don't forget to email us on admin@baronfiles.com. Rightio, see you all next week.